Hi guys, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So as you guys could probably tell from the title, we're going to be building a tiny house today. Now a tiny house build is not something that you see a lot of on my channel. I think I've maybe done, I don't know, maybe like 2 tiny home builds in like the past 2 years that I've had my channel. So yeah, it's not something that you see fairly like regularly on my channel at all. But yeah, if you guys missed it, the Sims 4 Tiny Living stuff pack was announced earlier this week on Tuesday, I think, and that's just made me really in the mood to build tiny homes for some reason. Now normally I would be the first one to say that I can't build tiny homes because I don't think I'm any good at them personally, but I don't know, that stuff pack there now, just having the announcement for that stuff pack has made me really want to try and get better at building tiny houses and actually making them a tiny house, you know, not making them too big or anything like that. So yeah, I've decided to try out, you know, my hand at building some more tiny homes and trying to, you know, get better at them before we get the stuff pack so that I can kind of know what I'm doing once I do get the stuff back. So yeah, we're going to be building a tiny house today, and as you guys can see, we're starting it out in Brightchester. Now this build doesn't stay in Brightchester, since, you know, from the thumbnail and title and everything, you guys will be able to tell that I turned it into an island family home, not family home. What am I talking about? See, I'm used to building family homes, not tiny homes, so yeah, bear with me. But yeah, so as you guys could tell from the thumbnail and everything, we turned it into an island tiny home. And I do that once I start on the landscaping. Once I start on the landscaping, I realize that, you know, the landscaping that I want to do is just way too lush and kind of tropical for Brightchester. So I end up moving it to Sulani, to a 20 by 20 lot on Sulani. So even though the house is like very, very small, it's on a 20 by 20 lot, so it's still a very small lot, but there's a ton of landscaping. I go very overboard with the landscaping eventually. I do cut most of it out though, since it was very repetitive and it was just not fun. I didn't want this video to be like 20 minutes long, because once I sped up everything, once I was done with the build and I started editing it, I realized that a solid maybe like 5 minutes of sped up footage was just landscaping. So yeah, I did cut that out, since I didn't want to have you guys sit through 5 minutes of me just doing landscaping. I think that's very boring. So yeah, it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, really tiny house, and it only has space for 1 sim. I didn't manage to fit in a double bed, so there's only a single bed in the bedroom. And I thought it would be for kind of a very, I don't know, maybe like eco-conscious sim, you know, someone that loves living off the land. Since I do add 2 greenhouses, I have the one that's kind of like off of the house. You can enter it through the house, through that little like glass roof area. You can access it through the house. And then I add another one in the backyard that's kind of like a freestanding greenhouse. That's a completely glass greenhouse that I actually made out of roofs. And it is completely functional. I did play test it. My sim had some trouble planting stuff in the planters that I put in the greenhouse, but I just, for some reason, the game wouldn't have the plants germinate and actually plant. And I had that issue no matter where I placed the planter pots. I mean, I actually moved the planter pots out of the greenhouse completely and just had them on the lawn, and they still wouldn't work. I think that's just a game bug, not really something wrong with the build. So I just had my sim plant them in the ground outside, and then I just moved them to the planters. But your sim can water them and everything like that. So yeah, it's completely functional. And I did play test the tiny house as well. Everything in here works. They can cook and they can, you know, use the bed, use the bathroom. Everything is functional. I don't normally play test my builds, since I normally build big builds, so I know, you know, the amount of space that I need for stuff to be functional. I normally have more than enough space for that in my regular builds, so I don't normally play test the like bigger ones. But since I figured, you know, I'm not used to building tiny houses, and I'm not used to trying to fit so much stuff in such a small space, I should probably playtest them. So I am playtesting my tiny builds, and I did playtest this one. Everything works. I had a lot of fun, you know, just merging items with other items, as weird as that sounds, and sizing stuff down. You guys will see here in a second, I make a little custom like console table for the TV, so like a TV stand out of these blocks of wood that came from Seasons. They're actually end tables, and I just sized them down one and used this red shelf to place everything at the right height. The TV actually works. I was thinking the TV might not work, but it does work, and you guys will see once we get to the like dining room area. I did actually manage to fit in a like 3 like square dining room, and there's not 4 tables. It's a 3-tile table with 4 seats at them at it, and they all work. And I actually use those blocks of wood again and kind of stack them under the table. I use a bar height table, the one that came from Discover University, and I stack those blocks of wood underneath it to make it look like the tabletop is actually resting on those blocks of wood, which I really like. I had a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I playtested it. It works. You know, your Sims can sit down, they're not clipping through anything weirdly or anything like that. And yeah, this build does have obviously a lot of bookcases. I use a lot of bookcases kind of as decorative items, but I think they should work. I think your Sim should be able to access at least one of them. And then it also has a laptop on the dining table, so at the moment there can only sit 3 Sims for eating, and then one of the chairs is for the like laptop, but you know, you can just drag it into your Sims inventory. And yeah, we have like the little tiny bedroom area, and then a lot of like stuff outside. There's a bonfire outside as well that I put down to have something for like a group of Sims to do in case you wanted to do that. And then, like I said, a ton of gardening stuff. I did actually plant a few plants in the like planter pot, so there's already a few harvestables on the lot if you do download this build and decide to play in it. You guys can find it on my gallery. It's up on the gallery under hashtag ChrissieYT, hashtag ChrissieYork, or under my gallery ID, which is ChrissieYT, and I always leave those things linked in the description in case you guys want to see how it's see it written out, or you know, whatever, like anything like that. It's always in the description. And I will also have a direct download link to the online gallery website in the description if it's easier for you guys to find my builds and stuff like it that way. So yeah, that will be in the description as well. Sorry about that, you guys. That was my phone. I forgot to mute the bloody thing. And that was a Twitch notification. My bad. Yeah, see, very professional. Very professional. But yeah, I'm just cluttering up this build a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with these tiny homes, by the way. I've actually, since we've gotten the announcement, it's currently Thursday evening, and since we got the announcement on Tuesday evening for me, I've actually built 2 tiny homes. I've built this one, and then another one, a family tiny home that you guys might have been able to see on the lot next to this, and that build will be out on Monday. But that's actually a family tiny home. So yeah, look forward to that one. I had a lot of fun with that one as well. That one was a bit of a challenge, honestly. But yeah, that will be out on Monday. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with tiny homes and just, you know, cluttering up stuff a little bit more than I normally would. Because normally when you're building like a 5-bedroom house, you don't really have the time to clutter up everything like I can do with tiny homes, since I do normally, when I build, keep in mind that I have to turn it into a speed build, and I don't want the speed build to be like 30 minutes long, which is just insane. I mean, it's not insane. I mean, I watch 30-minute speed builds myself. I love them, actually. I love putting on a like longer speed build and just listening to the person talk, and you know, occasionally looking over at the screen and stuff. But personally, I can't do a 30-minute voiceover. So yeah, that's why I try and keep my builds a little bit shorter, or like on the shorter side. But yeah, I love the way this house turned out, you guys. I know I keep mentioning that, but I mean, it's not really all that tiny. It's like, I think it's 36 tiles. The interior of it, I think, is like 36 tiles or something like that. So it's not like a micro home or anything like that, but it's really small compared to what I normally do. So I'm quite proud of it. I hope you guys like it. If you do like the way it turned out, give this video a like, and if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims 4 speed builds, feel free to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell to be notified of whenever I upload a new video as well. But yeah, so I'm just finishing up the last few things on this house. I think I'm just trying to think of if there's anything else that I should mention about this build. But yeah, I wanted to mention it's just under 62,000 simoleons if you guys want to buy it. I don't know how many of you guys actually care about the price of these like speed builds if you're watching a speed build, since I don't know how many of you actually just use Motherload to buy stuff. I know that's what I do whenever I like download stuff from the gallery. But yeah, I added a pond to the front yard as well, which in hindsight, if I knew I was adding it to Sulani when I started the landscaping, I probably wouldn't have added this pond. But I spent so much time on it that by the time I moved it, yeah, right now, we just moved to Sulani, and as you guys can see, the landscaping is it's not like super tropical or anything like that, but it's very lush, very green, and it just didn't fit into into Brightchester for me. So yeah, that's why I decided to move it to Sulani. So that's why the lighting is different and everything like that. But yeah, in hindsight, if I knew I was going to have this build be in Sulani, I probably wouldn't have added the pond, since that just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you have a pond in your front yard if you're like right across the road from the ocean? Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. But I didn't think of that before I started the landscaping. So yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it. But yeah, here's the greenhouse that I told you guys about, the like roof greenhouse. It does work. I know for a while there, I think greenhouses like this didn't work, but I play tested it and it works. So yeah, your Sims can get in, get out, get to everything inside, all of that stuff. So yeah, everything should work if you guys download it. Just make sure to have move objects on. That's a really big thing if you download this build. As well as any of my other builds from the gallery, I always build with move objects. So yeah, just make sure to have that cheat on, because if you don't have it on, I don't think anything in this house would place properly. Honestly, I don't think anything would place the correct way if you don't have the cheat on. So yeah, I also didn't pack restrict this build at all. I think I used like 19 different packs or something. It's really insane. Honestly, I think it's a talent being able to build a tiny house and still use like 20 packs. I don't know how I do it. And by talent, I mean it's not one of the best talents to have, honestly, since, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But I'll try and do some like pack restricted tiny homes once we actually get the tiny living pack. You know, maybe have it just be base game and tiny living, for example. So yeah, you guys can see that I've, cut out all of the landscaping, changed the rock colors to fit in with Sulani, and we're just adding the final few touches. So I think I'm just going to leave this voiceover off here, you guys. I don't have anything else to talk about and I'm just starting to ramble. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to download it, all of the download information will be down below in the description. It's completely custom content free, so you don't have to download any custom content for it. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having an absolutely amazing day and that your week has been great. And I will talk to you on my very next video. Bye guys.